Welcome to another YouTube video. Let's get straight stuck in, and today I'm going to be talking all about how you can sustain weight loss in the most simplest way possible. As always, I'll try to keep this under 10 minutes so it's short and sharp and gives you exactly what you need, because let's be honest, the hardest part of any weight loss journey isn't losing that weight, it's sustaining it. You know, you can probably recall many times in your health and fitness journey when you've decided that, I've let myself go, or I'm not liking how I look, that, I want to lose weight, I'm going to commit to that. And then you lose weight, you feel so much better, you're wanting to keep going, but you just lose all momentum and consistency and then revert back to type. And there's a big reason for this. It's a mindset issue, but also it's a strategy as well. And this is what I want to share with you today to help you. And whether you're you might be at the end of your weight loss journey, ready to learn how to sustain it, or you might be still on the journey, okay, still got weight to lose. It does not matter. This is so relevant to you, because one of the biggest and the first things that I'm going to talk about when it comes to sustaining weight loss is actually understanding your exit strategy. So whether, you might still be in your weight loss journey with weight to lose, but actually planning for the future you is so important, and where, over 30s get it wrong. So first and foremost, the big thing that I want to kick this off with is when we look at sustaining weight loss, one of the reasons that so many over 30 struggle to do this is because complacency kicks in. Let's say you're not feeling good in yourself, you want to commit to losing a couple of stone, and you go on that journey and you do it, okay? When you started that journey, something made you go, I need to do this. I don't like how I look, I don't like how I feel, I don't like how clothes are fitting. You're in a place of, more desperation, more like, I need to do something about this. Okay, there's a big drive and motivational urge to do something about your situation because you're not happy with it. So when you start your journey, you're motivated, you're inspired, you set yourself a goal, you go for it, right? And you lose a few stone and you feel great. And you're like, I feel so much better, I look better, I feel better, my clothes fit, I'm more confident. So it's a massive change from where you were when you started. You're feeling positive, happy, content, fulfilled. And this is where the issue lies, because complacency kicks in. That urge to, implement all of the things that you did at the start can fade. We can feel so much better, like we're in a good place. So, we can start to get complacent, we can cut corners, we can kind of revert back to type without even realizing it. And this is a big issue, because when complacency kicks in, we switch off, we get distracted, we focus on other things, and it's easy to forget and neglect a part of the process that is fundamental. Because when your entire health and fitness journey or your weight loss journey, it's always been about losing weight and getting to this place, when you suddenly get a taste for it and it's like, I've actually lost the weight that I've wanted to lose for so long, I've finally got to a good place, it's kind of like you're at the edge of a cliff, what next? All of this process that's built me to this point, and then it's like, well, what now? What do I do? I don't want to restrict myself forever. I don't want to track calories the rest of my life. I don't want to do all these crazy HIIT work. And you just get to this point where you're like, how do I sustain it? I don't want to continue doing what I've done to get to this point. And it's not knowing what that exit strategy should be, should feel like, or should look like, which is why so many over 30s just can't sustain weight loss. They just can't do it. They get complacent, they lack clarity and vision, they fall off a cliff, okay? And at the time, they feel like they know how to sustain it because things have gone so well, but losing weight and sustaining it is a completely different ballpark. So there's a couple of things that can help. And the first thing is understanding that you need an exit strategy. You can't just achieve your weight loss goal and then go, yeah, I've done it, I feel amazing, and then just continue, right? You have to have an exit strategy. So one of the things that we do inside the Lean and Fulfilled lifestyle is we do a reverse diet. And this is absolutely key. Okay, you need a period of time where you gradually come away from weight loss, okay? And we do that with a reverse diet, and we typically do this over a 6-week period where we build a client's calories up every couple of weeks until they get back to maintenance. Because if you want to sustain weight loss, we can't eat the same that we did to lose that weight, because that's a deficit. We don't want to lose any more weight, we want to sustain it. So that's why we need to slowly build your calories back up to maintenance. And again, so many over 30s, this is where they go wrong, is that they, say they lose weight for a wedding or a holiday, and then they obviously do that, they feel amazing, they go on holiday, sounds great, and then they get back and then they just go back to square one, all right? And this is where we need that transition away from weight loss, because if you do that, what happens is naturally you start to enjoy more food freedom, you feel your body, and you have time to move away from the restriction and the like extra levels of discipline that's required to lose that. So you can kind of have time to come away from that, build up your energy levels, get your body used to eating more food, because when you've lost weight, like, naturally you don't, you've been trying to cut calories, so then to try and increase it, you want to do that slowly so you don't get bloated, you don't kind of just hit the effort button, which is so easy, and I'm sure you've done that before once losing weight. You need to gradually come away. Now, once you've done that reverse dieting strategy, the next part is everything, because the goal is never to lose weight forever, right? It's a goal, it's a focus, but then the goal is sustainability. Like, you want fitness to be part of your life. You want to sustain that healthy looking physique. And I always say to clients, your goal is yours to earn, but it's also yours to keep and yours to lose. This is a continuing thing. We don't just lose weight and then stop everything, right? You want to keep the habits going, keep yourself evolving through fitness. So once we've done a reverse diet, we've got an exit strategy, the next part is key. And whilst we're doing a reverse diet, we need to reset your goals, because if you really want to move away from weight loss, move away from always obsessing over like how your body looks, and kind of just keep fitness going in your life from a health, from an energy standpoint, from a mindset, and truly step into the best version of yourself, we've got to step away from weight loss. And once you do that after a 6-week period of reverse dieting, you have to understand what the next goal is for you, how you can continue to embody health and fitness as part of your lifestyle. And this is where performance goals come in, and actually resetting your vision. So the goal has always been weight loss, but if you don't stretch your vision past that, okay, if you look to the future and think, well, now that I'm in a shape that I'm comfortable in, like, how do I want to push myself? How do I want to progress mentally? How can I, prove to myself that I am capable? How can I challenge myself? How can I continue to build on my body, get stronger, get fitter, get healthier, okay? Because that is so liberating and will give you so much and help you to grow as an individual, like far more than weight loss can. But weight loss is the catalyst of change. It gets things going, it resets your health metrics, it makes you feel good, but you have to know what's next. And that's where like performance goal setting is essential. And we do this with every client so that they, once they've come away from weight loss, they don't feel like they've fallen off the cliff. They don't feel like they don't know what to do. They're lacking inspiration. They've got that next thing that they can work on. And, for you to sustain weight loss, the biggest thing that you have to understand is that you need, more lean muscle tissue. Okay, the more lean muscle tissue we have, the higher your metabolism. Okay, so essentially you can eat more food and actually sustain the body that you're in. And that's where going through that reverse diet, having a performance goal that you set to keep you excited and inspired, and actually shift the focus away from weight loss, and making sure that we're building strength and fitness so that we can, build lean muscle tissue, which offsets the aging process, which helps to tone and develop your body further and helps to increase your metabolism so you can eat more food. Like, these are all so important things to help you actually sustain weight loss. Otherwise, you're stuck in a cycle of tracking calories forever, having to restrict the amount of food that you eat because you just don't have the amount of lean muscle tissue to expend energy. So then you always have to restrict yourself. If you truly want freedom and sustaining, we have to go through that. And that's where the performance goal is so great as well, because it allows you to step away from weight loss and actually focus on something exciting, something new, something fantastic. And because you've grown so much in your journey, you'll believe in yourself more. So it'll open your eyes up to what's possible. And performance goals, it doesn't have to be, there are so many different things, and I won't go into it in too much detail on this because I want to keep this short and snappy. But there's loads, there's running, there's high rocks, there's triathlons, there's, fitness tests, there's strength training, muscle build. There's so many different elements, and it's kind of finding your thing. And some people, because their whole identity has been built up around weight loss, get to the end of weight loss, and then this is why fitness just evaporates from their life after doing so well, because they don't know what's for them. They don't know what path to take. And this is where, really breaking down like what you want from your fitness journey, how you want it to make you feel, and also understanding maybe, like, if you look at your fitness journey, what are the beliefs that you used to have of yourself? Because so many people, I'd never be fit enough to run, I'd never be able to do strength training, I'd never be able to do this. And they kind of, they have all these narratives that they've carried with them through life. And if we're able to then go, well, actually, now that I'm more confident, now that I've lost weight, now that I believe in myself and I'm excited by fitness, maybe I could be a runner. Maybe I could, do strength training and focus on building muscle. Maybe I could challenge myself to get into high rocks, or, find something that I enjoy, like running is a great one. and challenging yourself, because for fitness to continue to be part of your life, you have to look beyond weight loss. You have to value fitness as an integral part of who you are because of what it gives you. And performance goals allows you to prove yourself wrong after years of believing that you can't. The amount of clients that I help lose weight, get in incredible shape, feel amazing, and then go, do you know what? I've never believed that I could run. So I'd love to maybe start trying to do a bit of running, see if I enjoy it, push myself, get into that athlete's mindset. Maybe I'll start high rocks training. Maybe I actually really want to focus on getting stronger and doing a bit more weightlifting, seeing what I'm capable of with that. And it's being curious, it's exploring. And that is why fitness is so amazing and so pivotal in someone's life. And that's why, like, once you've lost weight, learning how to sustain it is more than just like how you look, it's how you feel and how you show up, and it will completely transform you inside and out. So hopefully that's insightful. I'm going to stop that there, but that is how to sustain weight loss, going through, like, having that exit strategy, going through a reverse diet. And then one thing that I actually forgot to mention here is that once you've done a 6-week reverse diet, what we then do with clients to help them come away from weight loss is actually, we don't need to track our food anymore. Let's go through an intuitive eating phase where we remove calorie tracking, so we're removing restriction, and actually we can then enjoy, the performance goal that we set, and we do that alongside not tracking. Eating intuitively, following performance, based nutrition principles and frameworks that allow you to fuel health and performance, give you food freedom that you've wanted for so long, and give you that liberating feeling of, having that balance and still bettering yourself and improving how you look and feel. So yeah, I thought I'd add that in there, but I'll keep that short and sweet. Hopefully that was helpful. Any questions, as always, let me know, and I'll see you.